Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Cracking Cryptocurrency Show. I'm your host, Justin Wise. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. We're going to be talking about a lot in the markets today, looking at Bitcoin, looking at Ethereum. And yes, you might have noticed that the show does look a little different, guys. It's been a wild year for Cracking Cryptocurrency, and I appreciate all of you guys sticking around and hanging with me while I took my sabbatical and worked on new trading strategies. And now I'm back. I am going to enjoy doing the show moving forward. I really want to thank everybody, the entire community, particularly the excellent shows that have been put on by Jack, Jason, and Alex. And we're gonna have a lot of fun as we move forward, guys. So stay tuned. Let's kick this thing going off. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, guys? See you guys. Hand telephone. That's what they call it in Germany. That's what they call. I think they call it a handy though. Yeah, a handy is cell phone in German. Yeah. Zach Coma, thanks for coming in earlier for the test stream. I appreciate that. Actually pushed. Didn't mean to push it public, but it came out such. Crypto Jenny, good to see you as always. Cavano Trades. It's a Ponzi, only if you buy at the top. It's only a Ponzi if you buy at the top. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere just bought Crypto Caveman Cave, like the concept. Okay, Franklin MC, Jordan Stotts, Cornholio, good to see you, my friend Damian Hughes. All right, and Dark Rico again, as always, shout out to you, my friend. All right, guys, let's get right into it. I want to talk about the markets. I want to talk about cryptocurrency today. I want to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we're going to be looking at kind of the top movers and metaverse coins as well, and just talking about what we talk about on the show. We like to look at markets. We like to do our thing. So without further ado, let's hop over. All right. Let me know. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Crypto Bull. Let me know what you guys think of the new stream layout. By the way, just brief note here. If the bit rate drops a little bit as we do the show, it's only going to be an issue for the next couple of days. I am currently streaming on Wi-Fi. The 50-foot cord that I ordered was not sufficient to connect where the current office is over to where the router is. But we're going to get that all fixed up. So, all right. Take one day, one trade at a time. Every trade, one Diet Coke at a time. Okay, guys. So breaking right into this. We're going to be starting off with Bitcoin. As always, we've got the daily chart pulled open. I do have the CC proprietary indicators on here. These are the indicators that everybody has access to who's a subscriber. We've got a couple new ones on here too as well. And one of the things that I want to explore as we continue to move forward is obviously the PTP system is a methodology for creating a technical indicator-based technical strategy with a heavy emphasis on backtesting and utilizing past data to understand what kind of results you're going to get in the future and to use that methodology to guide your trading decisions and your strategy creation decisions as you move forward in this space. In whatever market you want to trade, whether that's cryptocurrency, whether that's Forex, or whether that's traditional equities or futures or options contracts or whatever. It's completely up to you. The idea is to give you the framework and empower you with the skills that you need to continue moving forward. That's the exact same thing that I did for myself, and nothing makes me happier than helping out new aspiring traders or experienced traders who are struggling or need something new reach their potential. And so I'm always on the lookout, as you guys know, for cool, interesting new indicators, looking for ways to create new strategies, looking for anything to give me an additional edge in the market. And here's the thing. I do truly firmly believe that there is a strong edge out there. There's a lot of individuals, there's multiple ways to be a trader. There's never any one right way to do anything. But essentially, did you guys just notice that bottom feeder signal? Just fire live right. And it's gone. We'll give it a second. It'll probably come back. That's going to be interesting. That's a potential trade we're going to be looking at here in a second. There's a lot of individuals out there who feel that, incorrectly in my opinion, that there's not an edge in technical indicators. Well, my personal P&L and the results of the entire group tend to stave against that. But here's the thing. Algorithms and using, so I guess this is best summed up with the idea that there are some individuals who believe that past historical data, past price data, does not offer any value in the real world. And it absolutely does. It absolutely does. There are patterns that repeat themselves. There are statistics. There is probability here at play. There is ways that markets move, and the chart is a direct representation of that. The chart is a direct representation, is a visual representation of human decision making. And human decision making, occurs in patterns. Cities are built in patterns. Structures that appear in nature appear in patterns. There's patterns everywhere, and there's a reason for everything. There is always an element of randomness in the universe. There's always this element of noise, and this is no different in the financial markets or any market for that matter. But it is a misnomer to feel that there is not an edge. So with that out of the way, you guys know I like to wax a little loquaciously. All right, we got Alex 1, 2, 3 in the crib, and ETH1. Good to see you, ETH1. It's been a while, man. All right, so. All right. So let's talk about Bitcoin here for a little bit. We'll talk about the granddaddy of them all, and we'll kind of use this as a marker for decisions, or as a placeholder, I should say. I can't really think of the right word. Placeholder, marker, bullwether, measuring rod, divining stick. We'll use Bitcoin as an indicator to guide our altcoin decisions, as I feel is a good strategy and a good concept here. All right, so obviously, as you guys can see here, Bitcoin completed a swing failure pattern back when we tapped the most recent all-time high. Here on the Bybit chart, we are looking at a high of 68,601. So almost that, actually, no, sorry, this is a little higher, 69,182. So almost that 70,000, but just not quite. We were staved off by the bears at the last moments. So for you guys who are not aware, a swing failure pattern is going to be a trading pattern where a high has been established. Ooh, I should switch that over to white so you guys can see. Switch that over to white. Okay. Swing failure pattern is going to be where and Jason is really good at talking about these swing failure patterns. He has become quite prolific at pointing them out. A swing failure pattern is when a market forms a high, then it forms a low. Obviously, a low tends to follow a high. And then it makes a higher high that is unable to achieve. Usually in a swing failure pattern, you either wick right above it, but the concept here being that you do not close above it. That is the traditional way to trade a swing failure pattern, is that if you see a candle, typically when you're trading this, you're going to be looking at a candlestick pattern, because a swing failure pattern is a candlestick pattern trading idea. So when you're executing on this plan, or when you're looking for these types of setups, you want to be looking for you want to be looking at the candlestick bodies. You want to be looking at the candlestick formation. What information can be gleaned from the way the candle closes, and this is the open, high, low, close data that's just graphed in a candle. So in a swing failure pattern, the key concept here is that that you do not close above the high. Right? When you look at the close of the candle, and listen, there's always a little bit of variance, but this is typically what you're looking for. You're looking for a failure candle. A failure candle can either be a reversal candle, in other words. So you're looking for a Gravestone Doji. Right? A Gravestone Doji is going to be where you have a small body and a long wick that goes to the upside. That's typically a failure pattern, because what that means is that during trading periods, especially if this is red, it's worse, right? But if it's green, let's assume this is green for a minute. If this is a green candle, it means that the market opened up here and it pushed all the way up to the top of the wick, but then buying pressure was unable to continue moving the market up, and sellers stepped in and bid and offered price back down. However, a green Gravestone Doji, while still not great, is better, and you'll often see green Gravestone Dojis in strongly trending cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin does it all the time. Ethereum does it as well. So you can see trends continue. But you want to look at other indicators for the trend strength as well. But you can often see trends continue in the large cap cryptocurrencies on green Gravestone Dojis. Red Gravestone Dojis, on the other hand, are typically much worse because what a red Gravestone Doji indicates is that the market opened up here, pushed up, and sellers were so strong that they pushed price not only all the way back down to the open, but even lower to a lower close. And traditionally, you're looking for a market reversal, or at least a pullback following that type of formation. So that is going to be the best candle that you can see. That's going to be the strongest reversal candle at the top of at the peak, at the zenith here of a swing failure pattern. The other kind of candle that you can see is exactly what we see here in Bitcoin, and this is going to be a doji. Again, a green doji is better than a red doji, and a red doji is let's see here. Did we get the chat removed? I see the chat here on D Live. Try we're always getting shadow banned. You know what I mean? Well, we probably shouldn't say that word. We'll definitely get SB'd. You know what I'm saying? But let's we've thought about things to do this, but we're just going to continue doing the show. And the individuals that want to find us, that are serious about trading, serious about learning, they're going to find us. Guys, leave me your recommendations. Like, what do you think? Let me know in the chat. Did you guys get notifications for this show on the tubes? I'm gonna use code words, okay, so that the algorithm doesn't pick up what I'm saying. Did you guys get for you guys who are watching us on the tubes? Did you guys get notifications? Okay. Let's get back into this. Okay, so what you're looking for is swing failure pattern. Red doji is worse than a green doji. So what you can see here is that Bitcoin did make a higher high, but was unable to close. Let's just double check. So the high here is 67,167, and we closed at 66,969. So yeah, a perfect example here where we're unable to close. The close of the candle was unable to close. The candle was unable to close above the previous high that was formed. And we can see that the market reversed from that point. We had a big sell-off, this big volatile candle. And this is something that's important to remember too, is that you will often see, and this is true more often than not, right? And this is, I guess, one downside. There can be a downside to this in trend following trading, because when you're looking for that exit, when you're looking for the trend to bend, right? When you're looking for the trend to break, and you're wondering, okay, where should I take my profit? What is the signal that the market has reversed, and that we are likely for the short term or medium term, or maybe even the long term, going to stop trending up, right? And we've got a lot of, we talk about this a lot. We have a whole section on this, obviously, exit indicators in the Pathways to Profit course. But my recommendation, what I like to do is I like to use reversal indicators. But again, just being honest about one of the weaknesses of trend following trading is that, and this is a weakness of reversal indicators as well, particularly in cryptocurrency, is that you tend to see the trend shift or bend on a high volume, high volatility candle that also travels a lot of distance, right? So what's that mean in practical terms? It means that if you entered into this Bitcoin trend right here, so let's look at where PTP would have had us enter into the system. So let's say we're using Wada Atar for an initiator. We could have entered here. Let's say we're using a Minx Cross as an initiator. We could have entered on the same candle. If you're using Minx as a 0 line oscillator, and I'm not using the default settings for Minx, my average length is set to 21 here. So if you guys are using the default settings for Minx, likely got a much earlier entry. But again, earlier entries are going to be at the risk of more false signals. So just however you want to structure your trading system. So right here, we can see that we cross above the 0 line on this candle right here. And then we have, so this is our entry candle right here. Ooh, pull this out. and then we have a fantastic trend to ride. Okay. And we don't see very many big high volatility dump candles, right? Don't see very many big high volatility dump candles until this one right here, right? We have a bearish engulfing candle. It's high volume. You can see the volume bar down here. It's high volume. It's a big candle. It's a 5.82% candle, right? So what that means is that if you wait for that candle to close, it's your best sign. It's one of your best signs that the trend is that you're going to continue to have more downside. And as you can see, there was a little bit more downside before this last pop gasp up. But the problem is those can take away, 5.82% of your gains. So this is something that you need to consider when you're constructing your trading system. Honestly, in the final analysis, there's not really any way around it, unless there's a couple different ways you can structure this. You can either one good adage is that you only take profit on green candles, then you only buy on red candles. Now this is the only take profit on green candles is fine. The only buy on red candles is going to be indicative of a reversal strategy. And there are times in the market when that works, and there's times in the market where that doesn't. It also depends on how you want to trade. But you can either have predetermined to take profit targets, like with Quadriga, one of our indicators that just tells you where to take profits. You can have preset percentages. You can have pursuant to your risk reward ratio, or your risk reward setup in your trading system. But if you're trying to capture that larger trend, just understand that you're looking for the bigger movements. You're allowing your trade more room to breathe at the expense of understanding that likely, and this is very, very true in cryptocurrency. So I know you guys are aware of this, but you can't get around the fact that if you're waiting for a reversal indicator or for an indicator to tell you to get out of the trade, which is what I do, you're going to give back some of your gains. That's just something you need to be aware of. And maybe that can help you structure your trading system a little bit better. Okay, so swing failure pattern is what we saw occur in Bitcoin. Pretty textbook. Control Z. There we go. Let's remove those drawings. And as we can see, we had a pretty significant correction down. I think almost 20%. Yeah, 22% from peak to trough, all the way down here. Now, the question is Bitcoin going up or going down? Well, I want to look at the previous. So notice where we are. Bitcoin corrected to the baseline. If individuals had taken a reversal baseline bounce, there was a little mini trade on there. Bottom feeder didn't fire. Minx wasn't too oversold, but there was a 5 to 6% profit opportunity there for the lower time frames, and definitely a 1 hour or 4 hour trade in that area. Probably less of a 4 hour, but definitely a 1 hour trade in that area. And then we've pretty much done this is what always frustrates most traders is, Bitcoin's just chopped around, and this candle really hurt a lot of individuals as well. Now, just for you guys, just update on my trading. You guys can go see my results that I published just yesterday for my November trading results. Didn't make a lot of money in November. In fact, I lost 1% of my account. However, and as I point this out, this is in a November, since kind of November started. Basically, a lot of individuals got wiped out hard. I pay attention to what's going on in the chat rooms. I pay attention to what's going on in the alpha groups. And obviously, most people are aping into NFTs and DeFi at this point in time, and more power to them. But the reality is that November wiped a lot of people out. We had some pretty big corrections in a lot of coins, and things like that matter, right? Things like that matter. You've got the bulls out there talking about this is the healthy retrace that we all need, which, that's not necessarily true, right? You hear that all the time, like, hey man, the market's been trending up, it's pulling back a little bit. So, we need to continue, so this is good. It's good that the market pulled back. It's good that we had a correction so that it can breathe and continue moving up. It depends on the correction, right? Like we've been in a bull market for a significant amount of time now, right? We're well into this bull market, right? And so you need to be looking for these signs of market reversal. This is very important. Now, one thing I will point out is that March, the meltdown is still pretty heavy in everybody's mind. I think a lot of traders in the market, maybe in general, still has a little bit of PTSD from that. And so honestly, I do feel like we have the ability. I still think that we're going to see higher prices here on cryptocurrency, right? I don't think that the market has reached that absolute peak froth. And there's just a couple things that they're going to matter, right? It's going to matter how the market responds to the new COVID variant. That's important. Everybody's obviously talking about that. We've got our first statistics, obviously, from Israel that just came out yesterday. I was reading. Again, you guys are probably seeing this on your news and on your local television. It does seem like it's more transmissible, but the symptoms are more mild. However, it has more mutagens in it, or the ability to mutate faster. And these things are, this is an issue. This is a problem. And I'm not an expert on this concept. But again, I would be, the last time the market significantly crashed was over COVID fears. And of course, moving back to last year when we crashed for the first time. So, things to keep in mind. Overall, my goal here is to give you guys the ability to make your own decisions, right? And you can use me as a jumping board and see what I'm doing if you guys need some direction. So give you guys a little bit of insight. So I've begun the process a while ago, right, of moving my high risk funds into something more stable, like into BTC, into ETH, recycling, and into USDT as well. Now, I'm not fully in there, nor am I half, right? I'm still majority in the market right now. There's still a lot of plays left to be made. But just to let you know, I've begun that movement, and I'm prepared for when this market cycle ends. Now, if we go up to 100K, if we continue to have this next big leg of this bull market, nothing will make me happier, right? But there's a lot of stuff going on right now, that does concern me, like Powell. For you guys who are kind of following traditional things that's going on in the States here, Powell getting his next term, and then basically, everything's rainbows and sunshines, right? Powell was all rainbows and sunshines. Inflation is not an issue. No, it's all good. It's transitory. You know what I mean? And now, as soon as he gets his next term, he's like, yeah, it's pretty bad out here, guys. Oh man, that dude is a killer, man. Absolute killer. Okay. Let's see here. Anywhere it says the Omicron anagram is moronic. What do you mean by that, bro? Hey. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's check in with the chat here real quick, guys. Okay, so to the question of did you guys get YouTube notifications? Right on Rice says he couldn't. He said no. Eth1 said all the time. V, good to see you, my friend. Xavier got mobile notifications. Crypto Bull got both. Alex123 says no notifications, but I know the schedule. It's not rocket science. It's Ponzi says I never do. Also, DLive gives you lemons, so it's bad. Cornholio did. B-Flow gets them. Jordan Stotts can't trust YouTube. Excuse me. No ban on DLive. Zach Coma got notifications. Alex123 says people that need reminders for the show is like being reminded to put your wire fronts on in the morning. What are wire fronts? Is that like braces? Or is that what you call underwear? That's what Crypto Bull was thinking. Mr. Ether did not get a notification. Handy telephone got the notification. What's up, bro? Good to see you, Robert. Franklin MC, that makes wire fronts. Yeah, glasses. That's probably what it is. Yeah. You'd be surprised, some people are just a little airheady. Okay. All right. So as far as my trades on Bitcoin, I did short on this candle where we got all the confirmation. I held it as we crossed back above the baseline. Price did dip below. I continue to hold it. And what happened over here is that my first take profit was hit at 54,000. I'll have to go back and look at the you guys can go see. It's at results.crackencryptocurrency.com. But I know it's 54 something. I took 50% of my position there. At that point, my stop loss was moved to break even, and I'm currently out of position on BTC USD. Now, if we do close up a little bit higher, we're actually going to be getting an interesting signal from bottom feeder. The bottom feeder algorithm is something that Alex and I designed, and it's designed to detect bottoms and potential trade opportunities. Nibbles at the bottom. It doesn't always call the bottom of a trend. Often catches, if we're in a strong downtrend, it'll catch dips, and it's highly accurate. It's really, really good. It's one of our best. It's one of our best, automated strategies that we've created. All of our premium subscribers have access to that, as I'm sure you guys know. Let's see here. Now, bottom feeder was just signaling a few seconds ago. Obviously, it's going to repaint on the current candle, not on previous historical candles. But until we see how this candle closes, we'll see. Now, if bottom feeder does give the signal, I'm going to go ahead and take that trade because I know bottom feeder is highly successful. Its statistics are amazing. We've been running it for over a year now, and it's just through the roof. But I'm not seeing what I need to see to say that the Bitcoin's about to tear off here, right? Price has not been able. So a couple things I want to point out. Let's take the baseline off here so we can look a little bit objectively here, and we're going to pull out a trend line. One thing I want to point out is that Bitcoin has made 3 lower highs. Okay, so let's turn on magnet mode, and I will boom. And as you guys can see, we are not making higher highs, right? We are not making higher highs. This one is not a higher high. This one is not. This one was the first lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay. That's not what we need to see. That's not good. And so as you guys can see, I do have an indicator on here. This is Gann high low. I really like this indicator, and I like this one. All right. This one is not lazy bears. This is let's see here, because I like to give credit where credit's due. Yeah, this one is by Kivans. Well, you guys can see that on the chart. It's by Kivans. And what I like about it is that it's got separate lengths for, it's got different lengths for the high and the low. So the way Gann high-low works is that it's relatively simple. It plots a simple moving average of the lows. And if price, well, let's start over here. Right now, it's plotting a simple moving average of the highs. And if price closes above that level, then Gann high low will switch and it will begin plotting a simple moving average of the lows. Okay. And this is a very simple trading strategy. When price crosses that level, you go long. In fact, the original, probably one of the best ways to do it is the way that John Eller's, another indicator that I really like is Eller's instantaneous trend. Really good. Eller's early onset trend. Excuse me, that's what it is. And the trading strategy that he has for that, the actual entry or position sizing, not position sizing, but risk management strategy, is that once you enter the trade, you set a trailing stop loss. I think he recommends 1 ATR. I think that's what he recommends. He recommends 1 ATR. I could be confusing that with the individual who came up with the simple swing trading strategy for the colored volume bars by Lazy Bear, which is the volume indicator I'm using at the bottom. I don't know why I'm doing this, because so actually over there that I'm using at the bottom of the chart. And the colored volume bars swing strategy is that once volume bars turn blue or green, you enter with a 1 ATR trailing stop loss. So pretty good way to trade in cryptocurrency, especially with how volatile it is. You might want to consider a longer trailing stop loss, maybe a 3.5 or 1. I've used 1.5 ATR, 3.5 or 3 or 2 or 2.5. Again, all things are going to be revealed in experimentation. But we're seeing failure right here. Now, if Bitcoin continues to actually, no, that's not what we want to see, right? I like to see, when I'm looking for a breakout, there are a couple things here, right? If we maintain above the 50% level here, basically, this is the daily low. The previous daily low on yesterday was 55,950. Now, if we are able to maintain above 55,950 here, and then we close above and form a higher high here and get some positive momentum, then I'm likely going to be entering into a long trade. It's going to depend on what my indicators are telling me, but those are the signs that I want to see for a long trade. We need to see some good volume. And remember, when Bitcoin takes off on good volume with a strong candle, we're usually off to the races. And we haven't seen that yet. I thought we were seeing that here, but we haven't had that follow through yet. So there is a lot of supply, a lot of distribution going on here because price is basically side locked and Bitcoin's been boring to trade for 3 days now. You know, what's that meme where you poke it with the stick? You know what I mean? Jordan Stott says the only underwear with wires is a bra. I'm not going to say that last part, Jordan, because, you know, I don't want to call anybody out or question anybody's life choices. Okay. I think they're classes. ETH1, can we get some TA on Enzyme MLN, please? Yeah, no problem. Let me get my... Enzyme MLN. Okay, we'll look at that here in a little bit. It's Ponzi says, could you explain the CVolve LB? Yeah, it's actually quite a simple indicator. The way CVolve LB works, this is colored volume bars by Lazy Bear. It's the, as far as the height of the columns, it's volume. Okay, so to show you this, we'll just pull open volume. And okay, so I've got CVolve scrunched a little bit, but just so you guys can see, it's the exact same thing as far as height, and it's the exact same thing as far as quantity. Okay. The only difference is that it's not truncated, as you guys can see over here. The regular volume bar truncates to the billions. This actually prints all the numbers out. You can fork the code and write whatever you want in there, though, in your own version of Pine. But the way that the bars are colored is not like normal volume. The way that bars are colored in volume is extremely simple, right? If the close is higher than the open, aka a green candle, the volume bar is green. If the close is lower than the open, the volume bar is red. And, you know, that's not very helpful, right? Your traditional volume indicator can be helpful, I think, on lower time frames when looking for reversals. It can be helpful on higher time frames when looking for if a move is likely to have follow through, in that sense that there's volume behind a significant movement in the market. But with regards to actually kind of letting you know where volume is relative to the volume in the past and to price in the past, it's not very helpful. And that's why I like the colored volume bars by Lazy Bear. It wasn't Lazy Bear's idea, but he's a fantastic programmer here on Pine. So the way that this indicator works is that if you set an arbitrary number, right? Set an arbitrary number. In my case, I use 10. Feel free to experiment with other lengths. This is just the default settings. And what it does is it looks and sees if price is higher or lower than it was 10 days ago or 10 bars ago. And it also looks to see if volume is higher or lower than it was 10 bars ago. If volume is higher and price is higher on the current bar than 10 bars ago, it colors the candle green. If the price is higher, but the volume is lower on the current bar than 10 bars ago, it colors the column blue. If price is lower and volume is lower, if price is lower and volume is higher than 10 bars ago, it colors the column bright red. And if price is lower and volume is lower, it colors it orange. And this, I think, is really helpful. I know is really helpful for looking at trends in volume, right? You don't just, if you just look at a snapshot of volume today, it's not extremely helpful. If, on the other hand, you are seeing volume and its relationship to where it was in the past, then that is extremely helpful. If you just use this indicator alone, there's a strategy, right? And essentially all you do, this is probably great if you pair it with like a moving average or at least one other simple indicator that gives you an entry signal. But I'm currently using it as my volume confirmation for this implementation strategy right here, which is going to be Minx, Water Tar Explosion, CVolve, and then the baseline, using Gann high-low actually as an exit here. So, however, I am experimenting with using Gann high-low as an entry indicator. It just needs some filtering, right? We're going to get there, right? I got faith in it, okay? We're going to make something profitable out of this bad boy. So the simple swing strategy just for the CVOLB indicator is you wait until a blue or green volume bar, and then you enter with I think it's a 1 ATR trailing stop. It is a 1 ATR trailing stop loss, and it's pretty much that simple. You can either, obviously, you could, a lot of ways you could play with this, right? You could go, if the colors switch from green to blue, you could exit the trade. If the colors switch from blue or green to red or orange, you could exit the trade, although I think that would be a little bit more too lagging for my taste, as you guys can see. Same thing for shorts. But I think it's probably best paired with an exit indicator that is some form of reversal indicator, or looking at divergence or candlestick patterns, or, whatever you guys are going to implement into your strategy, just as long as it's objective and as long as it's testable. So cool indicator. It's actually one of the funnest volume indicators that I've come across and that I like. It's a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it's an oldie but a goodie. Okay. Let's carry on. So Bitcoin is right now just not showcasing a lot of strength. We're not able to make a higher high than a few days ago. We're not able to make a higher high than almost a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And we're certainly, and also this is the area, right? I want to point this out. This is where a lot of retail bought in. Okay, you can see that this is the last push back up, and then they get unloaded on, which means right here, this price level is the break-even entry price for a lot of market participants right now, for everybody who entered here. And as you guys know, when individuals get underwater, i.e. they entered a trade, price went up, they're like, here we go, no, right? Then they are generally going to grab at any opportunity to get out at break even, which is what you're seeing right here, which is what you're seeing. You're seeing individuals getting out at break even. Now, this doesn't mean that they're right. They could be offloading onto savvier investors who are going to push the market higher. But I think for the trend following trader, and certainly for myself, the correct thing is to step aside here, because the trend has bent, right? Trend following traders follow the trend until the trend bends, and then they wait for objective confirmation that is resumed before hopping back into the position, right? There's no objective confirmation going on here, so I'm out, okay? And if we see a failure from this level, then we're likely going to correct more significantly. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. Okay. All right, so we'll just stick that up there for kind of my overall feeling. Listen, so Mr. Ether says a word I can't say on stream. I just unhedged a couple hours ago. Listen, as you well know, I don't have all the answers, right? I'm not right all the time. The market is if you just trade, right, completely randomly, you're going to be right half the time, okay? The real edge is in getting that number up to 55, 60, 65%, right? A real edge is hard to establish in the market. Let me rephrase that. It's actually not that hard. It just takes work. Like, the pathway is there. Okay, there's lots of people who do this. And listen, like I just said, right? I'm not fully hedged. You know what I mean? I have my money in the market as well. I have a portion hedged, i.e., moved into Tether. Some die because I'm experimenting with MakerDAO as well. But you might be right. Don't second guess yourself because some person on YouTube is like, oh, look at this wick and look what it's doing, right? I'm just pointing out things that I think about and that are influencing my trading decisions. You're a good trader, Robert, and only you can decide what's going to be best for your capital, your position at this moment, right? Bob the Builder, what's up, my brother? Coming in hard with the $20 super chat, saying shout out to my here. You guys, listen, it's not legal. It's not legal for you guys to say stuff like this, okay? It's shout out to my hero and original and only mentor, Justin Wise. Thank you, Bob. I don't have words for how much I love you, brother. I really, really don't, man. You're one of my favorite people on the planet. I swear to God, man, I really do. I think besides like one post, yours is the still one of the last ones on our blog, because I never really did much with the blog. You wrote how I don't have words, man. Thank you, man. I hope you're crushing it, dude, because you've got all the talent and skill that you need, man. Zach Coma says, do I hear MX Browns clacking? I don't know what that means either. Hold on a second. I gotta turn my. I don't know what that means either. Come on, guys. Micah, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. You did do the work, man. You did do the work. I'm just here. Just do my thing. I'm just happy I helped, man. I'm happy that anything that I've done, right, in this little box in the corner. Oh, key switches. Oh, this is the Razer. Huntsman Elite. I knew it was the Razer Huntsman Elite. This is my favorite keyboard. I love it. It is so good. I love the clickety clack. Never gets old. It's really good. Okay. Let's make a group here called Stream Memes. And we're gonna stick the BTC do something in there, and we're gonna get rid of that one for now. Okay, back to this. In all seriousness, guys, come on, everybody, bow your heads and pretend to be serious for just a moment here. Okay, so that's what I see from Bitcoin. We're currently putting in a failure candle right now. Again, remember what I said at the beginning. Green. This is it. So this right here, I was just talking about this earlier. This is that green Gravestone Doji, right? This is what a Gravestone Doji looks like. It's not a shooting star. A shooting star would have two higher highs on each side. So two higher highs or higher closes on the left side, and two lower closes on the right side. So we don't see this right here because we have a close that is lower on the left side, and we would want. So basically, a shooting star is two green. There's three green candles, right? So green, doji, and then red, right? This is the shooting star. This is not that. This is just a Gravestone Doji. Green Gravestone Dojis are better than red Gravestone Dojis. But again, I've seen, and this happens at Bitcoin, trends continue on green Gravestone Dojis. However, it's typically not quite like this. I typically prefer to see this when we're trending. Right now, obviously, we're not trending. We're just consolidating and I fear redistributing, right? Below both the baseline and below the Gann high low. So time will tell. Let's check in with our other indicators here right now. So Minx, okay. Let's look at Minx here. And again, I am using a modified version of Minx. You guys can modify it too. Just change your average length to 21 and there you go. So we have, where we're at as far as overbought, oversold thresholds right here. As you guys can see, we are right where we were at right down here. Okay. But I want to point another thing out here. Okay. So, excuse me. Jeez. Sorry, guys. So let's look back. The last time that we were this this deep, this oversold. Okay. And we're not really oversold. Oversold is below the green line. Okay. But back when we were at this level, as we can see, the market did push up, but similar. Did we close above? I think we did for just one candle there. Yeah, we did just for one candle there. Faked out the Gann high low. What did the baseline do right there? Yeah, baseline's a little bit better. Still below the baseline. We reached that level. Minx did cross over, and we had one candle of potential profit before we had a pretty steep, deeper correction here. Back down to the lows that have been established. Ding, ding, ding. And then we have, that's not really a swing failure pattern. That's a failure to achieve, and then just a bump and run reversal. So, and yeah, this is a good trade right here. Bottom feeder actually picks it up right on this candle right here. You have one red candle and then off to the races, and then bottom feeder catches this dip and bottom feeder catches this dip. It's pretty good. I digress. It catches all this. And we're not seeing that here. Bottom feeder's not going nuts here. So my fear is not only that we may have a little bit more of this in store. Okay. But also, even in this area right here, after this correction, we had time to consolidate, and we can see Wadatar starting to get green here, right? It doesn't really give good signals until right about here when we get this nice juicy trend right here. Again, another nice juicy trend here, but we're not seeing any of that here, right? We need some more time. I think we're going to consolidate for a little bit longer. There's one thing that's going to change this, and this is going to be a this is going to be sorry, I looked at the chat and I got distracted. Okay, there's one thing that can change this, and this is always true in Bitcoin, and that's going to be a big old green candle with a lot of volume sticking above that baseline, closing above those highs. Lego. If I see that, I'm good. Especially if that also gives me a blue or green colored volume bar down here. That's going to be a go. That's going to be a go, guys. So, let's see here. Yeah. So speaking of Razor, I have quite the eclectic set here. You know, I've got a lot of stuff that I've kind of got from them. Not like they've sponsored me or anything, but gifts people have gotten me. People have gotten me like stream stuff, which I really like, and I've obviously bought some of this myself. But the Razor Huntsman Elite I like. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not really looking to be color coordinated here. I'm actually, so maybe I'll take a picture of this setup in the new office. But I've got a Corsair matte keyboard mat, okay, which I really like this Corsair. I do have two Razer ones around here, but I like this one better. Okay, I like this one better. I really do. This is the Logitech MX Master S mouse, MX Master 2S. I lost this and I had to rebuy it. I was using a Razer Basilisk mouse, but this is the best mouse on the planet. Period. Maybe not for gaming, but for what I do, it's the best map on the planet, or best mouse on the planet. Yeah. So a little eclectic here. Okay. So Bitcoin looking weak. There's a trade opportunity here for a short, for reversal baseline rejection. Let's go down to the lower time frames to see what that looks like. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame here. Okay. Are we overbought on the 4-hour? No, we are not. Yeah. Getting a pretty sizable 4-hour rejection candle right here, though. You guys can see this is just resistance that we were trying to break through, which was actually lower than this previous. And we just, people just getting wicked to hell here, man. Yeah. This bottom feeder signal completed. So we hit our target on that. I'm not sure if this one did. I'll have to go back and look through the rosters. These bottom feeders are pretty good. These two are not. But yeah, this is not. Yeah, kind of a fake out, man. Now, if we hold this level, great. If we hold the 57,000, great. But remember what I said earlier, right? We need to stay above the previous day's low to stay above that 50% threshold, that kind of breakout pattern that I like to see, which is where we stay. Where we stay above after we formed a low, we form a range high. I like to see the new low be put in following that movement, be higher than 50% of the previous movement, i.e. we need to stay above 50%. So here's the bottom, and this is just really easy to eyeball. Here's the bottom of the range. Here's the top of the range. Here's the middle of the range. We need to stay above the middle of the range. And then we need to start creeping back up. Small volume, small volume, small volume. I call that stair stepping. I will enter on those even if we're below BL because I've seen those play out so well. Because usually that's the only way that you can get into the trend before. And there's not really, see if I can find an example of this. Yeah, here's a perfect example, right? This is actually a little bit more like a breakout, but as you guys can see here, right? We form a low. We're back up to kind of the range high right here that we had been in for like a week here. And then certainly the next candle stays above 50% of that. And then what happens? We stair step, stair step, stair step, and then boom, big candle, right? So let's see if we can find another example that's kind of like that. Yeah, here's a good example too. Okay. Honestly, these aren't perfect. So we've got a range that's established here, and we form a range low, and we form a new high. And again, this is not really the example that I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about that stair stepping effect, like 1, 2, 3, boom, big candle. You know what I mean? And so usually you're not going to be entering, for most systems, you're going to be entering on this candle, which is fine because these things trend so strongly that you have a lot of room. But obviously, if you're able to get in here, that's good. Let's see if we can find another example. Stair step. Here's another kind of stair-stepping example with it. So again, this is like a little bit different, but stair step up, maintains above that 50% correction, then boom, big candle. So, you can see a lot of examples on these on lower time frames. I'm not really seeing the kind of perfect example because that's the way that life is. Nothing's perfect, but just be aware of that pattern when you see it. It's a pretty good one to trade. Oh, Brett, no, man. I absolutely loved that coffee, man. You know what? That's one of my favorite gifts I've ever, you were one of the first people, true story. You were one of the first people to send me something. To be honest, and I'm certainly not asking any of you to, I haven't gotten too many gifts from like CC members, you know what I mean? Which is fine. That's it's not what this is about. You know what I mean? In fact, I don't really want people to send me stuff because that's, Brett, we got this, bro. All right. It's the difference between you and I. Okay. I love that coffee. So good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It's perfect for work electric. Mike is still using a $2 keyboard. They picked up 8 years ago when I first got into crypto. It was for one of my script rigs. Yeah, back in the day, Scott had recommended this to me, and I just love it. It's so good. Probably my favorite thing about it is this. It's got this side button right here, and not only the back and forth, and I can horizontal scroll with my thumb. That's awesome too. But it allows me. I use Windows, so it allows me to open up the window pane. And same thing when I used it on the Mac. That is absolutely not what I need, right on rice. Not what I need. We've got a request here for Algorand. Good, I'm going to check that out. And we also have a request for, I just saw it. TrueFi from 10x Nino. Okay, that's probably all the requests I'm going to do today. When I get into that, and I will get into that here in just a second. TrueFi, USDT, and ALGO. All right, so we're going to be looking at Enzyme, TrueFi, and ALGORAND. How are we doing on time? Okay, we've been going for about an hour. Good stuff. Yeah, Micah, I feel bad about that because nobody really picked that up and ran with it. Still have all of it, by the way. Haven't squandered it or anything. And, I know that you've had your misgivings about the project. So you just, you let me know what you would like me to do with that. I have tried to be as good a steward to it as I could possibly can. And let's just see what we can do with it. All right. I know that there was an idea for, I know that there was I think maybe a tip bot. Yeah. I apologize. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You would talk to me about the tip bot. Maybe we can do that. Okay. Nary. Anthony Cox says, I asked for KDA and AVAX at the start of the stream. Well, gosh darn, man, are you trying to make me feel bad? I missed it, so now I have to do it. All right, if we have time, I will get to it, man. I just tend to I tend to go pretty loquaciously on these things. I tend to talk a lot and spend a lot of time. We've been on Bitcoin for an hour, okay? For an hour. So let's hop over to Ethereum. Okay. All right. Ethereum should be no surprise to anybody. Might be argued like has more like gamer use case right now, or just, like crypto play to earn or whatever you want to call it. Like definitely active, doing different things than Bitcoin. Maintained its relative price better, is above the baseline. Again, getting a little bit of green columns here above the zero line right here. Again, this is not the candle that I want to see for entry, but however, green gravestones are better than red gravestones. Okay. Still not where I want to see. A couple things going on with Ethereum here. We are coming back up to retest this distribution area right here. And let's see here. Actually, I'm not going to lie. The chart on Ethereum doesn't look bad. I'm just not going to make a move until I see Bitcoin go, because I know if Bitcoin goes, then Ethereum's going to go significantly more. But Ethereum's given us more opportunities here. All these bottom feeder signals, except for this one. This one was good, though. This one hit. That one was a miss. These two bottom feeder signals are actually bad on Ethereum USD. So nothing's perfect, 100%. Even though we want it to be. I'm not really going to give this the attention that it doesn't deserve, because I don't think it does. I think it'd be more appropriate if I went back here, honestly. Yeah. No, that's way too tight, I think. No, it doesn't even make any sense. The way that I had it originally drawn made sense. But when Ethereum was respecting that upsloping trend line, or baseline, or simple moving average, it was pretty impressive to see, right? But again, one thing I want to point out is that even though this moves quite a bit, so we could consider that a strong trend, it was very volatile, right? Excuse me. I know a lot of traders who traded this, but for people with sensitive systems, like they really struggled with Ethereum here. Having the smoother system is a little nicer. I will point out that we did break the Gann high low. So maybe Ethereum is not actually a bad entry in this area, looking for new ATHs, but I just think it's going to be a little bit safer if we wait for Bitcoin to make its move there. And as you guys know, I chart Bitcoin a lot. I've got a lot of experience with Bitcoin. I've traded Ethereum a lot, but honestly, I tend to trade Bitcoin just more. I just understand it better. Oh, geez. We just got mobbed. All right, hold on a second, guys. Getting mobbed. Make sure I am not. That's not bad though. Listen, it's good. It's good when they point the bots at me. If anybody asks, oh, here's another one. Anyone who asks for me to review that coin is getting banned. Nope. Oh. Boom. It's Ponzi says, are the bottom feeder signals similar to the MFI? I mean, listen, it's so what bottom feeder is. I don't like the black box things, but you know, it took a long time to create and it's very profitable. So I'm gonna tell you what I can. The bottom feeder signals use a highly modified version of Minx that is trained to look at different metrics. It acts like a momentum oscillator. It does look for oversold conditions, but in very particular contexts. Very particular contexts. There are 7. Let's go back and look at the code base. Here we got another one. Hold on. There are 7 there are 7 different algorithms that go into bottom feeder, and each of them look at different things. There's 2 ways to trade it. There's conservative mode and aggressive mode. And the big difference there is going to be for position sizing. So with conservative mode, if there is a section of the market that is generating a buy signal, then it'll just give you 1 and it won't like loop. It cancels the feedback loop. With aggressive mode, it will allow subsequent signals to come in the sweep period, meaning this is a good example, right? You can get multiple buy signals on the same day from different algorithms with bottom feeder. And if you're using aggressive mode, it will tell you, hey, buy 2 positions here, right? Not just 1, buy 2 positions here. Whereas with conservative mode, it will only ever give you 1 buy indication on the same candle. And it all just goes to risk reward, right? Obviously, the more that you buy of something, the more that you stand to lose. But again, the larger that your potential profits are going to be if you're correct. Also, the larger your potential losses can be if you're wrong. So you guys can see the results of bottom feeder. You guys can go check those out. Those are all at results.cryptocurrency.com as well. And Profit Bear asking for CRO. All right. Oh, we got a lot of requests. I better start getting to these. So let's do that. Heikin Ashi on Ethereum is Wick City. That's not Heikin Ashi. That's Arenko. Yeah. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. Heikin Ashi chart looks good here though. Minx just recrossed above the 0 line. We are above the baseline. We don't have the rising momentum yet, so the Bollinger Bands aren't separating, and we are right back up to the top of the range. So I would be cautious here again. Like I said, I'm not taking a position on Ethereum. We're right back up to the top of the failure range here. Let's see what happens. This could either be a swing failure pattern we could be looking for, a failure to achieve, which would be if we closed right here and then started going back down. Or, you know, it could just be good old range trade. You know what I'm saying? Again, it seems like the seems like You know, the statistical play here is likely to take shorts for the retrace with an extremely tight stop. Like if we start pumping back up, you know what I mean? You pretty much want to exit your positions. That's a high risk trade payoff. But again, it's actually not super high risk because, you know, Bitcoin is unable to break, is putting in a rejection candle right now, and Ethereum, again, similarly putting in a rejection candle. Let's see how the day closes. You know, we could, if we end up pumping back up, then that was just the first sweep, and buyers have overcome. So, top gainers of, is there any way I can hide this? Oh, there is a way I can hide that. Sweet. Oof. Safe Moon down 17.3%. Safe Moon crowd not in the house. Okay, let's get into our requests. So we have, over to CoinGecko, because some of these coins, sometimes you guys request coins that I'm not familiar with. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Enzyme MLN number 407, aka used to be known as the what do you call it? The crypto formerly known as Melonport. I like that. Rebranding to Enzyme. That's definitely better than Melonport, you know. Although, I don't know. Enzyme could be catchy. We'll see. For more information, please see this. All right, what do we got going on with Enzyme here? $156 million market cap. Pretty decent trading volume. Hasn't reached FDV yet. Total value locked is the 150. Interesting. Circulating supply. Not bad. Hmm. 20 contributors to the Melonport protocol. No watchers. Well, we got a lot of commits. So yeah, it's definitely being worked on. It's not like they're lazy. Okay, not bad. Oh, just what in? That was a coding streak there. Closed a lot of issues real quick. Okay. All right, doing pretty good. You know, I think I do remember this Melonport. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Melon. MLN. Yeah. I've traded this before. Wow, this thing is only up 60% from its ATL. That's pretty cool. And it's been maintained for quite a while. Fast and cost-effective way to build, scale, and monetize investment strategies. You want to tell me, like, I always like hearing this. Like, what interests you about Enzyme, aka Melonport? What makes you like it? Like, what interests you in this token? Are we just trading to trade here? Okay, so we're going to be looking at this on Coinbase. Maybe. See how far back we go. No, it goes back to 2021. Other is going to take us. No. Probably cracking, huh? Yeah. Maybe like Linreg. Okay, cool. Yeah, something like that. Why did that disappear? Interesting. That's weird. That is super weird. I don't know why it's deleting like that. Oh, well. Stop embarrassing myself on stream. Thank you, Blockchain Gains. Good to see you, my friend. The 100 million X, obviously. Of course. Yeah, 4,250. Okay. Yeah, still only. Yeah, that can't be right. Anyways, okay. So listen, just disclaimer here, right? So DeFi's still hot, Ethereum's still hot, Ethereum's still pushing up. It doesn't look like we're in the bear market of the bear market. So there's lots of plays. There's lots of plays to be made in DeFi. All right. The most important thing is that you guys have a strategy, that you trade your strategy, and that you understand what you're doing. So a couple things that I do like here in Melon is going to be, we can see this pretty big, fat, volatile range that we've established here. Even if you were to take out where I've marked it at the beginning with that initial run up back in July of 2020 and kind of the subsequent fallout and then the long consolidation period. So sorry, let me mark out what I'm talking about here. This is this pump up, right? Big pump up, breakdown, consolidation, and then just general trend back up with good volatility, right? This thing, it moves pretty hard, pretty heavy. But again, we haven't taken out. Where do we come back down to right here? Last low of the market, continued higher lows, right? Not a macro shift in trend. Okay, not a macro shift in trend. This thing is pretty good with. Actually, that's a lie. It's actually not very good at all with it. In these parts, it seems to be pretty good on the entries. All right, so if history repeats itself, we are getting close to the bottom of the range here. And what you don't want to see is price close underneath this previous low. Wicking below it is okay, but you definitely don't want to see a close here. That would be a shift in macro trend. So that area that I've marked out is 83.993. So essentially looking at Melon right here, I would be a buyer between current price and 83.993. It's going to be a buy-in area for me. And this, you can be using an objective entry signal, of course. You can establish this as your buy range. You can DCA in this area. And you're going to be looking for an upside target here if we go all the way back to the top of the range of 180. But if you want a conservative target, well, I'll give you levels of conservatism right here, right? Conservative targets are going to stretch from 115, stop at 123 up to 131. It's going to be utilizing Quadriga, and that's going to be based off how much prices moved in the recent past. Okay. Now, if you're swing trading this and you're looking for the move, then let's see here. So that's already happened. So if we measure from, I bet, yeah. Uh-huh. That's why. Yeah. Okay. What would be more conservative? Okay, so let's say we bottom out here. Yeah, exact same thing. I think that did nail it. That 135.71. Now let's say you're playing the big swing and you're looking for this next breadth of the bull market. Then yeah, you're looking up here at the 180s, maybe even wicks up to the 200s. Now, one thing I do like here is that Minx is significantly oversold and is recovering from being oversold. Typically a good reversal entry right there. As you can see, it's pretty much nailed all the previous ones. Every time Minx crosses over after a correction, pretty good time to get into the market. What I don't like is that volume's pretty low here. Okay. You know, that's actually not a terrible thing. Yeah. If volume were picking up while price was selling, then that would be a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah. What I do like is the Minx oversold. I do like the closeness to the bottom of the range. This is just going to have to be kind of a discretionary swing trading setup that I've walked you through right now. If we, how would I trade this? Let's get my indicators back on here. Well, actually, let's look at one more thing. Yeah, that's pretty neat. We're right back at the, this is the auto VWAP right here. So this will give you another indication of targets right here. Where we are is the buy range right now. And the range high is going to be up at that 161. So not a bad potential there either. All right, let's get my baseline back on here. For me, this is not a buy for me right here. I need to see this begin trending up. I need to see price above 121, 120, let's call it, with positive momentum coming in. And also we need price and volume to be higher than it was N bars ago. So pretty interesting chart. I think a good opportunity for a swing trade here. But not a not in my typical wheelhouse of trend following. All right, let's see here. Go back up. Safe Mars is where's this at now? It's Ponzi yeeted his life savings into it. Hey man, got to make that money, bro. Yeah, Melon went boom after 2018. I like Crow. Yeah, I like Crow a lot too, Theo. Thank you, Blockchain Gains. Highly appreciated. Profit Bear, I would love to, but we are getting pretty deep into the paint here already with requests. I will do my best. Steam looks gone on it. Like, what is the actual project and their roadmap, use case? Yeah, good stuff. Things that I would want to know as well. It does seem like, yeah. So let's find out. Yeah. Well, let's check out their blog post here. That's cool, synthetic assets, but that's nothing. Okay, so it looks like essentially what it looks like is we have a protocol to manage multiple different cryptocurrencies. I need to go back and look and see like kind of how they switched over. Listen, there was people doing DeFi stuff back in 2018. So it's not impossible, okay? You know, obviously a lot of individuals have jumped on the DeFi wagon over the last, particularly the last year, but over the last couple of years as well. I mean, I remember back in 2019 when people were talking about DeFi. I wish I would have bought every coin that all the DeFi people were talking about at San Francisco Blockchain Week 2019. That was an awesome time in my life, by the way. But it seems like what we have here is a protocol and kind of a user interface as well to manage basically to handle all your DeFi stuff in one place. So you guys kind of let me know. I haven't done my DD. I know very little about Enzyme. I do remember Melon, but I just traded it just in my watch list back in 2019, 2018. So yeah, let me know what you guys know about Melon and Enzyme. If any of you guys are using it, what you like about it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the steam's gone. You could have said that over here. Another pretty significant correction here. Big correction here. But you are right. This one's a little bit more pronounced and drawn out. Again, you got to trade the chart that's in front of you. I see a chart where something's been trading in a range since 2018 on a macro scale, getting close to the bottom of it. Unless the market significantly breaks, which means Bitcoin breaks, probably good to go. Rick G, thank you very much, my friend. It's good to see you as well. Yeah, I do remember the blue background. We have changed a lot since then. Hopefully you guys like the stream layout. I kind of like this. It's not bad. I don't think that crypto bubbles is going to be a permanent thing there, but we can slot different things in there, What I like about it. Pretty cool. I don't know. My phone telling me that I need to charge it. It's not my fault. I listen to physics podcasts to fall asleep. Heck yeah, F1. Not a bad idea. Again, counter trading the crowd is usually not a bad idea, right? Like if you hop on Reddit, especially like the cryptocurrency markets subreddit, yeah, they're almost always wrong, right? Like, and if they're hyping something and it's been going up, it's time to sell, right? If they're fudding something and it's going down, it's usually time to buy. Just pretty simple swing trading strategy. Okay, we got to burn through. Okay, so we looked at Enzyme. Let's look at TrueFi. Okay, so let's talk about what I like and then let's talk about what I don't like on TrueFi. I do like that we are established. So let's talk about this for a second. Okay. I like that we are getting close to the bottom of the value range. Okay. As you can see, this is the VPVR. This is volume by price for the entire trading history of TrueFi on Binance USD. And I don't really know. Let's go over here and look. $13. Yeah. Okay. So we actually don't have that much struggle data to go back off. Yeah. So launched on Binance, relatively new. Where price is for TrueFi is its fair market value, right? That's what it is. If price is at the point of control, then that's what the market is determined as fair market value. It is it's where the most individuals have sold. It's where the most individuals have bought. This is a good and a bad thing, right? It's a good thing. You kind of want to watch. This is a good buying opportunity, honestly, generally, in my opinion, when price returns to the point of control, especially after a correction. But you want to watch this. You don't want to let this one drift away from you, right? The reason why is because, again, if this is the area where most individuals have purchased at, right, understand herding and trends. If price starts to fail, right, if buying pressure doesn't step in here and the market is kind of turning around like I subliminally am a little worried about, not worried about, but you're prepared for, then that can lead to an exacerbation of sellers selling as fast as they can to get out as close to break even as they can. Okay. What you want to see is buyers who are established at these positions step in and defend their positions, i.e. a lot of individuals bought here. They still have excess capital left to buy more because they believe in the project and they want to protect their buy-in level. You don't want to see them abandon the level. Okay. So I would say one big red candle out of this area. And of course, there are strategies that just revolve around that. You can, of course, but I don't see any low value areas right here. You could go for the stop loss hunt and place your buy-in right here where everybody else's stop loss usually is. Bitcoin Trading Challenge, Bennett, friend of mine, talks about that. That's not the way that I trade because I think it's risky. And there's definitely alpha there, but I think there's more alpha in just trading with trend. So I like TrueFi here. It's not bad. It's a return to the point of control. And it's also basically where you've seen these previous traders who sold here, right? It's where they are right here. Okay. So you can see that this level, basically right where we're right at, about 46 cents, acted as resistance over here. We weren't able to significantly break above that and trend very highly. And the market corrected all the way back down to 13 cents. And then big, huge, dumb, massive, super moon, stupid pump up to the upside. And prices returned back to a fair level, but this time on the upside. Okay. We're seeing consolidation. The market is not trending right now. And this has been freaking crazy, man. This has been pretty volatile. So yeah, this is something where it looks like trading with the trend isn't really going to be. There have been a lot of opportunities here, good opportunities here. This looks better. This looks like a better swing trading asset. You kind of want to use your overbought, oversold levels. So if my best advice for this is that I do like where it's at. I think a buy here is not a bad idea. You just don't want to see price go below these levels. So let's say, what are we talking about here? Where are we at? Can we use a 20% stop loss? Yeah. I think you want to be using a 20% stop loss with this. All right. So let's do some math. What does that mean? How much of your account do you want to lose? Okay. I recommend if you're a newer trader, 0.5 to 1% risk per trade, maybe even less than that. But if you know what you're doing and you have a system and you're looking for setups, I think 2% risk is the right number. Okay. Now, let's talk about what that means. If you use 20% of your capital, so let's say you have $1,000. Okay. What's 20% of that? It's $200. Okay. $200. All right. 10% is $20. 20% of that is $40. Okay. So if you have a $200 position, you set a 20% stop loss, you're going to lose $40 if your stop loss gets hit. What percentage of that, what percentage of your total capital is that? It's 2%. Okay. So you adjust your risk as you see necessary. But when you're looking at something like this, altcoins, I think that's the right way to do it. And let's see, does I wonder if how well Quadrigo agrees with me. You know, Quadrigo doesn't significantly disagree. Quadrigo has it at 10.38%, which is more conservative. And you know, Quadrigo might be right on this one. So that's my take on TrueFi, my friend. Crypto Jenny, heck yeah. Star Talk, I love it. Absolutely. You know, Sean Carroll's my favorite. Absolutely love Sean Carroll. You know, I've been avoiding string theory for the last year or so because I just wanted to kind of learn the basics of relativity and get my head around like the field equations and things like that. But now I'm starting to get into it. It's just weird. Quantum gravity is a weird thing, man. Let's see here. Yes. I will take a look at Batman, and Batman will take a look at you. All right? Batman will take a look at you. Okay, on to the next request. ALGO. And okay. ALGO on. Listen, I just want to put out here that I really like ALGORAND. Okay. One of my favorite moments was interviewing Silvio McCauley. Dude's a genius, super nice, super generous, and he's got a great team. ALGORAND's cool. ALGORAND is going to be used in so many business applications for blockchains. It's got a great consensus method. It's really, really cool, right? And if you guys aren't aware, Silvio McCauley is the one responsible. He wrote the mathematics for zero knowledge proofs. So very important. I like ALGORAND a whole lot. And ALGORAND's looking good here. ALGORAND's looking good here. I don't want to get caught in something bad, but look, we got volume that just turned positive. We have a green bar, which means price and volume is higher than it was 10 days ago. We have our first green Wadatar explosion column that is printing above the explosion level. Now, listen, here's the bad thing. Because of this wick, it's going to throw off our explosion level settings just a little bit. So let's actually go in and look at the Bollinger Bands. Let's see here. Tightening, expansion. Yeah, listen, I think we can do it. It's just not moving perfectly. We had a pretty good correction and double bottom. But I like where Algorand's going right now. I'm going to put this one on my watch list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Yeah, good sized bar as well. Again, we haven't, like, I don't want to get crazy here, right? We're just getting back up to the top of this consolidation range. I want to see a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, we've broken all the things that you would typically want to see break. We just need to see the momentum come in there. Let's see here real quick too. Let's throw on auto VWAP. Yeah, came back down to the bottom of that. Now we've got almost a new target up here of about $2.36. But let's see what Quadrigo has to say about this. Yeah, actually Quadrigo agreeing really well almost with that auto VWAP for our second take profit target. So I think one could take Algorand, be prepared to have maybe a pullback here, back to 1.8, back to $1.80. I want to see us stay above $1.80. That's what I definitely want to see. Where are we at for point of control in this area? Yeah, closing above the point of control. Be a little cautious up here at 207.76. That's a little bit below our first take profit on this level, on this asset. Because there is pretty decent resistance here. And again, if we ignore this candle, we can see that auto VWAP level is going to be coming in basically right where we're at. We don't want to buy the top, but this is actually looking pretty good. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, then we need to, honestly, the correct answer is we need a day or two for everything to cross and close above, honestly. But the aggressive answer is Algorand actually doesn't look bad here. I like it. All right. Yeah, it's Ponzi. You're absolutely right. Algorand is centralized, and I like it for that reason. Okay, it's well. Let me speak very plainly here, right? I don't think Algorand's going to replace Bitcoin, but I see the absolute use case in what Algorand's doing with the partnerships that they're doing, the marketing that they're doing, the clients that they're pursuing. Algorand is looking to not be this open sourced, permissionless blockchain. You can fork Algorand to use it for private use, but you can't fork it for public use. So their code is like pseudo private, right? Algorand's code is pseudo private. At least that's what Silvio told me, and that is the best to my knowledge of what's currently the case with their code. But Algorand is going to be used by businesses. Yeah, exactly, because it's centralized. They're going to feel, more comfortable using that. Now, in the long run, do we want to get everything over to decentralization? Absolutely, of course. That's what we believe in. But there's going to be a lot, when you're looking for, look at XRP. Like, has XRP been fantastic to invest in? No, but that's because XRP has this market dumping money scheme. But look at other, again, just look at corporate coins are not a terrible idea, right? They're not bad trades. They're not bad hold coins. And Algorand's just got some brilliant people working in it. Thoughts on Litecoin versus Bitcoin? Listen, guys, I'm all charted out. We're going to be wrapping it up here in a second. We're going to go to the outro in a minute. But with regards to, I'll just talk, I'm not going to talk about the chart, but I'll talk about Litecoin in general. They used to say that Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin's gold, right? And I think that could be pretty true. I mean, Litecoin just moves faster than Bitcoin. It benefits from being a Bitcoin fork. It's very cheap. Transacting in Litecoin used to be the standard, but now it's different. Yes, we do have mentorship today. That's why I'm gonna peel off and get ready for that. I also have to eat some lunch, guys. It's a lunch thing. Let's see here. Yeah, cybernetics. You know, I'm not looking for that quick fix. I like to wine and dine a little bit. You know what I'm saying, brother? Oh, thank you, Richard. I agree, man. I agree. Okay, with that being said, let's pop out here to the let's pop over here to the big screen. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's talk about some closing thoughts. All right, things that are on my mind. Okay. Kind of honestly, here's the thing. Doesn't look like we're going to get a third interest rate hike. You know, the Fed is in a much trickier situation than it was back in March. So, you know, watching how the market is really gonna react to COVID matters, right? Although I'm optimistically bullish, right? I'm tentatively optimistic in this current market area, right? You guys got to watch Bitcoin. Altcoins are still going to run, but I just don't know if we're going to see those big old massive trends. We're going to see we always see this. We always see exit pumps, right? And I could be completely wrong. This could be a healthy retracement in the market. We're going to resume business as normal, because one thing, you know, it's not a direct one-to-one relationship, right? If the Fed raises interest rates, okay, then that means that you earn more interest holding that currency over a currency with a lower interest rate, right? So this can actually strengthen the United States dollar, right, in the short term. But again, inflation is another sidestep of this. And, you know, Jerome Powell saying that inflation is not. So listen, last year, Jerome Powell talking about how inflation is transitory, even earlier this year, talking about how inflation is transitory and, you know, all's good, bells and whistles. And then the second he gets elected for another term, pointed to another term, I should say, he's like, well, shit's pretty bad out here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just blows my mind. That's important. You know, keep in mind, this is something that I want you guys to be aware of. I know a lot of DeFi, NFT, all these traders, right? And a lot of them got hit hard on this recent market correction, right? A lot of altcoins, a lot of DeFi is down significantly relative to Ethereum, okay? And, you know, just always be wary, guys, when you're looking out there for like what to put your money into, like what to, you know, this is not the time to build a short-term portfolio. Let's put it that way. When's the right time to invest into the market? Right now, right? That's always true, whatever day. Like if you're looking to be a long-term investor and build a portfolio of good projects, the best time to invest is always right now. You know, and again, this has just been true for over 100 years, right? If you would have invested at any large, you know, if you just invest in good quality projects and you play the long game over time, getting into the market earlier, even if you have to watch a correction, right? Doesn't matter. Even if you don't dollar cost average down in the correction, always is the long-term play. So this always happens, right? People get really greedy, especially so people who've been in the market get greedy and they tend to give back a lot of their gains. And people who have been sitting on the sidelines and just seeing this stuff go more popular and more, let's say you haven't really touched DeFi, let's say you haven't really touched NFTs, let's say you haven't really gotten into all that, right? Now is a great time to start researching that, right? And picking up like good quality projects for the long term. But this is not the time to be picking up a short-term portfolio, as in stuff that you're going to like put money that you can't afford to lose or aren't ready to watch a correction into untested protocols, into projects that you do 5 minutes of research on and you're like, oh, dude said it was going to pump, let's go to the moon. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your money. We're pretty deep into this bull market. There are going to be lots and lots of pumps. Look for pump and dump groups. I mean, they've been around for quite a while now, but kind of the ones that you guys see, the shadier ones, right? Those ones come out around this area of the bull market. You'll also see these people on Reddit. You'll see this stuff on 4chan. And again, 4chan and Reddit are places to pick up potential moons, right? This is true. They start there and then they moon. But this is also the time when people are going to be pumping their bags. So maybe melon was a good example of that, right? Although I do think that melon looks pretty good, honestly. I'm not going to lie. But coins that look like that, right? Where you've had these big waves, you've got a lot of trapped buyers up in these high price levels, and people just want to pump their bags. So be careful of that. Again, it's fine if you understand the risk and how you're trading and what you're doing. That you are doing the short-term trading and you're being aware of your positions, you're managing your risk, and you're watching your trades carefully. But it's not the time to be building these like to the moon, long-term hold portfolios, right? If you want to be a little bit savvier, like at toward the end of a bull market, it's not the time to establish a long-term portfolio, or excuse me, a short-term portfolio, right? Find out what projects you're interested in, do your research, understand the code. You don't have to understand the code, but just understand the project, look at their marketing, look at their partnerships, look at their outreach, look at their community, what do they got developing, what's their GitHub look like? Find good quality projects that you like, that you think are cool, right? Maybe that's play to earn, maybe that's metaverse, maybe that's DeFi, maybe that's liquidity farming, maybe that's deep value farming. Whatever it is, everybody's different, right? And there's opportunities out there for everybody, right? This isn't a one size fits all industry. But buy Bitcoin. With that, as usual, thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Cracking Cryptocurrency. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, death threats, hot stock tips, leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys are interested in any of the services or products that we offer, including our educational content, our signals, our indicators, and our mentoring, as well as other stuff. Oh, of course, our community. Can't forget that. You guys can find all that information at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked this content. It does let me know that we've done a good job. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're doing this. It's a thing. It's a thing. All right, guys. Cheers. Trade safely, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.